Good morning. Welcome to Spirituality Gone Wild. Love Coach Academy presents Compassionate Talk. And this morning is going to be, we're going to be kind of short today, but we're going to give we're going to be impactful. I can already feel it coming. Sharing tips and tools for anyone out there that feels like that they've got too much anxiety going on, that they just feel like they want to pull their hair out, if they're just feeling kind of angst and you really need to get balanced or find a way to get back to center. And joining me today are fabulous coaches, Laura and Dawn. Welcome. I am so grateful that both of you are here. Thank you.
Thank you. Yay.
Love this. So anybody who's jumping on, please go ahead and share it out. Share it out. Before I jump into the first share I'd like to do today, which is actually a meditation to get us started that's 5 minutes long, and it's by the Stream of David Strickle. And I love this because it is a 5-minute reset meditation. And so I can't wait. I'm going to play that. And then Laura and Dawn are going to share some tips and tools that they use that are simple and easy to share it out. Share it out. Before I jump into, I can hear myself. There we go. So, and then I'll share a couple of things too. So you guys, let's have some fun with this and share. Good morning, Robert Dosai. I see you. I love you, Pumpkin. So I'm really excited to be here. I want to share something off the wall though with you guys, and it's not off the wall. Spirit's just putting me through to share this right now, and I'm going to do it. All right. I want to talk about bias right here. Okay. So what this is the disaster loan assistance from the Small Business Administration. This is the COVID-19 Economic Injury Disaster Loan application. Many ways in which that you can be eligible. Applicant is a business with not more than 500 employees. So if you have, like, let's say an LLC, okay. Applicant is an individual who operates, this is important now, under a sole proprietorship or with or without employees, or as an independent contractor. Now I can raise my hand right here. Independent contractor. Applicant is a cooperative with not more than 500 employees. Applicant is an employee stock ownership, which is an ESOP, with not more than 500 employees. Applicant is a tribal small business concern as described in 15 USC 657A B2C or not, and also not more than 500 employees. Applicant is a business including an agricultural cooperative, aquacultural enterprise, nursery, or producer cooperative, and is small under SBA size standard found at, and there's, you can click to check out the size standards there. Applicant is a business with more than 500 employees, is small, SBA size, again, the standards are there. And also 501c3s and nonprofits, okay? So please check this out. It goes through, check all the following. Not engaged in illegal activity. No 50% of interest is not going, no delinquent child support, basically. Well, I'll let you guys can read that when you go over there. This is for anybody who's watching right now who knows somebody that falls into these categories. This is emergency relief funds up to $10,000 directly deposited into your bank account. So I want to let everybody know that that's available here in the United States. I know we've got viewers from all over the world, and if you're watching on the replay, this is today 4/4/2020. So that's when we're doing this. And again, if anybody falls into any of these categories, here's what I'm going to tell you. What's the worst they're going to tell you? No, but if you don't try it, if you think that you might qualify, go fill out the application. It's super duper easy. It's not a thing. It's really simple. And that way, I mean, if it's a no, you're in no different position than you were right this very second, right? So I hope that helps someone out there right now who has a small business, independent contractors like myself, anybody. So, because I just felt that Spirit told me I needed to share that with everybody. So I know. You what? Did you fill it out?
I filled it out.
I love that. Did I send the link to our group too?
I don't know. I got it from a friend of mine.
I love that. Okay, yes. I'm glad that you filled it out, honey.
Love that you're sharing it. It's wonderful.
Am too. I would, if I have something cross my path and I get like a heart tug that we need to share it, then
Yeah.
definitely because
And that's just for people who have a business, right?
it's independent contractor as well.
Oh,
So
okay.
now I fall under independent contractor. Good morning, Adrian.
Hi, Adrian.
I fall under independent contractor under a few different categories. So
Mhm.
I fall under it as a graphic designer, which I've done for 20 years, and a marketing specialist. And even though I'm brick and mortar and not integrated marketing, by the way,
Right.
uh, but I fall under that category because I still work with the addiction arena in their marketing and graphic design work.
Mhm.
I also fall under it as an individual coach with my certifications. So
Uh-huh.
I can do with that. But it's independent contractor at this point. I don't have an LLC. So
Mhm.
for those of you that do not have the LLC, then use the independent contractor status.
Mm.
And that's as much as I know. Don't hold me to anything, please, everybody,
No.
because I'm winging it right here with all you, just like everybody
Yeah.
else. But what I do encourage is to never take, like someone like me, just don't take my word for granted. I mean, don't just take what I have to say and say, that's got to be it. Do me a favor and go do your research and do your own due diligence to give your own self the answers that you're seeking as well, and to trust into that. So, because I can Dawn's already done hers, I've done mine, and Adrian, if you missed it, I'll send the link to you regarding the small business. Actually, I think you do have an LLC. You've got a whole lot of things going on, Adrian.
No, I don't. And I
Oh,
think it's actually sole proprietor, but I'm not sure. I actually have a video that I could
Okay.
send you as well that has somebody going over the whole application process. Um, so that could be helpful.
oh,
But
great.
I think if you are not an LLC, I was under the impression it's sole proprietor is the box you check. But again, I'm not an expert.
Right. So I just went over the rules, and according to that, which will is independent contractor is after so it's an and or. Okay. So that option for independent contractor is there. And listen, like I said, if the worst case scenario is, we fill it out uh, and we fill it out. Hold on a sec. Oops. I gotta delete block. Sorry. Gotta block users. So what happens, I got just distracted for a second. What happens sometimes is everybody's home and bored, and some of these kids, they do what's called,
Mhm.
yeah, we'll just ignore them, and we're just gonna, I love you guys. Thank you for the extra work today. I appreciate you. My God. So I'll tell you without further ado, because I want to get into the few tips that we can all each share.
Mhm.
Let's just go straight into that 5-minute meditation, and then we'll go into you guys sharing, and I'm going to be quiet and ignore the chat, guys. Don't even. It's just have fun with it. Actually, thank you for raising our numbers. Can you guys, y'all, keep talking about your fridge auctions? All your comments are actually helping my algorithm.
Mm.
So rock on, man. Doesn't matter what your comments are. You're helping our algorithm, dudes.
Yeah.
Yo, rock on with your bad selves. And you know what? I love that.
Mhm.
So thank you. And that's honestly true. All right, let's bring it up. And let me make sure that it's up on our stream. And it is. Um, doo-doo-doo-doo. All right, everyone. Let's just let me get back to it. Here we are. Ah, hmm. As we gently come back to present, we put our hand on our hearts. Adrian, Dawn, Laura, feel us connect together. The love and the unity of oneness. Thank you for being in my life and sharing this moment with all of us as one. Mm. Beautiful. For those of you watching and feeling alone, this is how you connect. Yes, even virtually. You touch your hand to your heart and feel the magnetic immediate connection, no matter where you are in this world. It's instantaneous with the intention because love is all there is. So, with that, I'm actually going to go down and go to Adrian, Dawn, Laura, then back to me. So, Adrian, I would love to hear from you where you're at today, and then also what tip or tool could you share with everybody to get balanced and centered today?
Thank you so much for that. That was lovely. I'm doing pretty well today. I feel pretty well resourced. I had a pretty strong sit this morning, and yeah, I felt pretty grounded in my practice and also inspired. In my distracted thoughts, there are really some productive distracted thoughts. Yeah, definitely ebbing and flowing between feeling grateful for the connection and support that I have, and stressed out, anxious, annoyed by the state of the world, the unknown. Yeah. I think I've definitely struggled with anxiety in my life, just generally and pretty acutely. I've had some pretty significant anxiety attacks, and just generalized anxiety. I feel like anxiety is kind of under the umbrella of fear, and it takes different forms and has different flavors for sure. And sometimes it's really clear why we're feeling anxious, and sometimes it's not. It's just kind of there. If I was being chased by a tiger, the easy solution is, climb up a tree and let the tiger walk away, and the relief is immediate. And what's challenging is when the tiger, you don't know where the tiger is, but the tiger seems to just be there. And I feel like for me, there are kind of like two general categories of feeling some spaciousness or freedom from the fear. Like I think, like, for me, there's a difference between, like, say, releasing the fear or doing something so I don't feel anxious, and cultivating the ability to just be okay with the anxiety. And I know for me, in times of really acute anxiety, it's been important for me to cultivate my ability to not try and change it, and just cultivate the objective awareness, okayness with the anxiety that's there, that I can't really maybe do something to change. And I think one of the really helpful tools for me in that is to bring my attention to my hands or my feet, where the sensation is really maybe sometimes more obvious to feel. and cultivate my ability to just be with that experience, be with that sensation, be in my body there with my hands and feet, and just be with that experience without trying to change it, cultivating that objective awareness. And I find that's really helpful for me to um, create ground, create a sense of spaciousness and ease. Yeah, that's been really helpful for me at times where I can't do something to change it. I mean, there's so many things like that are helpful, like going for walks, cultivating my appreciation for the things that I do have. And I could go on around some of the tools of like the healthy and helpful distractions. And I feel like distracting ourselves can be so necessary and helpful, so critical for sure. Um, but bringing my attention to my hands and feet and cultivating objective equanimity as much as I can has been a real lifesaver for me. And in times of real acuity, real strong anxiety.
Adrian, that's beautiful. I love it. What a gorgeous way to start. I mean, seriously, you just gave everyone beautiful base tips. How to get into the present when when you're filled with anxiety, not looking for something to fix it or change it, to be with it. It's beautiful. I love this. That is a gorgeous tip for us to start with. So what I'm hearing you say is if you could just really get to your hands and feet, remember you're in your body, see where you're at in the very present to bring your awareness, your consciousness forward so that you can see, okay, I'm here right now and I'm safe, but be okay with right where you're at. I love it. That was wonderful. And thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, you're welcome. If I could just add to that a little bit, I think one thing that,
Sure.
kind of a fundamental of anxiety and a lot of challenging emotions is we want it to be different. I want it to be different, and anxiety can really raise its head. I want to change. I want to change. I want to change. I want to go away. I want to go away. I want to go away. And to bring our attention to like something it's so clear and strong, which the extremities can often be, and really just practice like, here I am. And then the sensations, that changing nature of the sensations, bringing awareness to that changing nature can help us to cultivate that quality of our frontal lobe, that quality of that frontal lobe capacity that has the ability to be with, to be objective, to just be with, not needing it to be different. Yeah, so. And it's
Gorgeous,
a
Adrian.
skill for sure, and it can be really challenging. I mean, and to have empathy for ourselves, like, yeah, and like, and then there's layers of that objectivity. It's not like all of a sudden it's just like peace and calm, but just like to exercise that muscle of objective awareness, to
I love that.
exercise that muscle of objective awareness.
The muscle of
Yeah.
objective awareness. Adrian, that was absolutely glorious, and I thank you so much. Let's twinkle him. It's glorious, and I hope anybody who's watching right now or the replay, there's somebody out there who needed to get that tip and that tool, and that's a perfect place to start. Beautiful. Thank you. Dawn, I cannot wait to hear your tips and tools. Take it away.
Hi, good morning. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm really excited to be here with everyone. And oh, wow, what you just said, Adrian, was just so accurate. About anxiety, how we all have it at times. And I find that what anxiety is it's a flood of emotions. It's not just one. It can be a lot of emotions all at one time. And I think that's what creates the sense of overwhelm and the sense of like, I want to be through it. I want to be complete. I need to check out, that can be the tendency. And I have a few things coming forward, but the first thing that comes to mind that I learned from one of my coaches is just to take a centering breath. And all it takes is one centering breath. You don't have to take 5 minutes. You don't have to go into another room. You can literally stand wherever you are and be present with yourself and take one long, deep inhale. That's all it takes, is to be centered. One breath. And command that so for yourself. One breath, and I can be centered. And it just can clear the mental chatter. It can clear the fog. It can clear the heavy weight of anxiousness of not being able to breathe and be present with yourself, with the intensity of the emotion arising, whatever emotion it may be. And then from there, you lead into a place of feeling you don't have to do anything about it. I really hear what you were saying, Adrienne, and it's so true. Just having acceptance and being more of a neutral observer of your own experience. Like, what if you were just observing yourself, observing what is arising, observing the emotions? You don't have to do anything about it. You don't have to fix it. Just be present with what is. And ask yourself, learning to ask higher and better questions, using our brain like a computer to ask higher and better questions of ourselves. Get curious, lean in. What is this? What is this teaching me? What is this emotion coming forward? And just be with it, because it's there to show you something. It's there that you're maybe not paying attention in a certain way that Spirit's asking of you. And there's something arising through it that needs to be met. So it's about meeting all of ourself. It's about learning to pull all the places we've ignored back into ourself, like a container. Pull it all back onto our lap, like a loving child. When a child is having a tantrum or whatever, you don't just push them away. You pull them onto your lap and you love them. You love all the parts of yourself that it's hard to meet. That's what the opportunity is at hand in any difficult emotion arising. And then I think what the carryover after that is learning to praise yourself. Wow, I'm so adaptable. I'm amazing. I can handle anything. I am loving. I am loving essence. I can meet any difficult situation in my life with love. I can love myself through anything. Anything I experience, I can meet it with love. So those are my tips.
Whoo, twinkle, 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 twinkle. Husbands. I love the I am statements. I love the positive self-talk. Another huge, huge tool and tip for you guys. Your negative self-talk, we got to turn that around. This whole journey for me is about been learning to love myself fully. And that's what we're talking about right now. And I love that we're talking about how to face anxiety, face that scary monster head on and love into it. You also brought up the number one biohack of the universe. It's your breath. The first thing we take when we enter this world, and it is the last thing that we take when we leave this physical existence. Our breath is our number one biohack. So in case anybody is curious, what do I do? Breath is definitely it, which both Adrienne and Don have already talked about. Getting present, your hands, your feet, your breath, really just being with yourself. And not only that, but think about it. How often do we really intentionally breathe? So I love it. And the fact that you don't need to, I don't have time right now. I don't have time to take a second and breathe. Well, you're going to do it anyway. May as well do it with intention, you know. Anyway, thank you, sweetheart. On to Laura.
Oh, good morning, you guys. I'm so grateful to be on this, and just to even hear Adrienne and Debbie and Don already, like I already feel more relaxed, just because I have 3 other humans here who are all going through the same thing. So for me, it's about connection, and that's how I survive. And, right now, many people are in isolation, right? Like they've had a certain amount of people that they are chosen to be around or not be around, or and even that's a bit overwhelming and confusing, you know. So just to riff a little bit on the tiger thing, you know, I've been joking and saying it's like we're hiding from the invisible man. We're playing hide and go seek from the invisible man. That to me is so unnerving for my nervous system, right? It's like and Don, you know, with the breath and loving these parts of ourselves that are trying to be known. Maybe they've been trying to be known our entire lives, and we never slowed down enough to know how to meet them with care and respect and honor and healing, so that maybe they don't need to show up in this scary way anymore. I mean, what a concept, right? So for me, those things are definitely in my awareness. And some of the tools that Scott has taught me is like, you know, I'm telling myself the story that, right? Like right now, a lot of people are having to figure out different ways for income, right? So I'm telling myself a story that it's going to get worse. Well, I can stop that story, right? And the other thing that's really helpful for me, so a lot of what I'm feeling right now has brought me back into the very uncertain days when I was little, when I had these two adorable aliens raising me. And one was a Playboy bunny mom who had 4 kids before she was 23, and lots of drama with a Vietnam dad who came home when I was like 4 from Vietnam, and just so crazy for like 6 years after that. So, you know, imagine being little, like Don was talking about the little child, and things were so uncertain. And right now, this time is bringing up a lot of that. So, how I manage it is I hold tight into my self-care routine, which is like Adrian was saying, get up and I have a routine. I stretch, I do some kind of yoga. I don't have to go to a class. I don't even have to put on a YouTube class if I don't want, but I can just do 10 minutes of stretching. I can do my 20 minutes of meditation, and I try to anchor that a few times throughout the day. I also realized, you know what? I can put on 5 really fun songs and move my body and dance right in my home. I can release energy. I can shake my body. I can do all these things. And these things kind of anchor me so that when the stories get big, right? The worry, or how is this going to work out? And is this the new norm that everybody's thinking about or not thinking about, hopefully? Um, you know, just anything to do self-care and anchoring, so that, you know, then when those scary moments come, like with Dawn and Adrian were talking about, you know, you're a little more resourced. Like Adrian, how he started, he goes, well, I'm feeling really resourced this morning because you did self-care. You did self-care this morning. And I'm sure Dawn did as well, right? You guys are, so for people who are listening who don't already have a practice self-care routine, I just want to make a suggestion that if you even develop a 7-minute self-care routine that you do maybe once or twice a day, just to anchor yourself in, then you can be more resourced to take that breath, right? Remember to take that breath and to, you know, not tell ourselves the stories. And those are the things that are kind of working for me, and add a little bit of play, you know, whether it's, I know they're doing all these like dance things online right now, and there's all kinds of ways we can connect in, you know, and release energy. So that's my little tip.
Yay, Twinkle Laura. I love it. And I love that you talked about anchoring in and practices. And that's what Adrian, Dawn, and Laura have just given you. Some practices that you can put in place. And if you say, but I've already started my day, reset, reset. You know that we can start our day over anytime that we darn well choose. And why is that? Because we get to control and choose what we decide we want. And we do it anyway. So why not with intention? Make decisions that are in your best and highest good. And if I tool and tip, write down who you're grateful for. Put the focus on the who. Put the focus on the who and start with you. God source energy coming running through you, or whatever you subscribe to. I don't really care. You know, that's not it. It's getting at one with yourself and get into gratitude about you and appreciate you. Dawn was talking, was it Dawn celebrating you? That was Dawn. Okay, we talked about this. Laura, celebrating. So we celebrate each other. We celebrate ourselves. But write down who that you're grateful for, and make it about somebody that has maybe brought you a lesson in your life, somebody that you didn't think you could be grateful for. That's a challenge actually for y'all. And I want to tell you that I can say this with with so much joy, to thank my transgressors in my life for giving me the opportunity to truly step into empathy. Thank you. I love you. Thank you for giving up your awesome human existence so I could have a badass one. That's how I view my transgressors. So it's a challenge for everybody. Work on that and see how it starts filling in for you and how the release comes. And I love you. Now I'm going to make a couple of really quick announcements. And Linda, I see you, baby girl, in the chat. Self-care is vital to do every day. Agree. So tonight, you guys, make sure that you join Compassionate Talk again at 6 p.m. But at 7:30, Scott Katamas is doing a big, great, fun event. He is co-producing with some incredible musicians and speakers from around the world. We have a few hundred people there. I'm going to be there. Karen Palmer will be there. Josie Herndon with Advanced Therapeutic Services will be there. But there's going to be also Fantuzzi and a lot of other people. And then we have, because unified.org, if you haven't seen the shares yet, is doing a worldwide meditation at 7:45. So wherever you're at in the world, just show up and meditate. Unify.org, though, is where that you will go, and millions of people are connecting today on 4/4/2020, 444 if you're into numerology. And I choose to look at this as a day of pure and absolute unification, peace for the world, and stepping and removing the fear, stepping into love. And at 10 a.m. for our love coaches, we do have classes rolling. At 10 a.m. for Debbie, I'm going to be on the Reset Summit with David Strickle, the Stream of David. And this is a gentleman who channels what we all are connected to, a stream of consciousness, which we all have the capability of tapping into and choosing how that we want to practice and channel it through. His practice is to share it more in the Abraham Hicks style. So if you like that, you'll love this because it's great fun. And I'll be asking the questions, and we'll have a lot of people there from Taya Bootcamp, which is Trust Your Abundance. And for those of you that want to join the Love Coach Academy group practice today, and you're not part of Love Coach Academy, but you know Scott Katamas because you've seen him on here like a million times, please message me directly so that I can get you hooked into class. And with that, I want to say I love all of you. And one more thing I do is called the chakra shake. Okay? It's really simple. I start at the top and I just shake your chakras, shake your chakras, shake your chakras, shake your chakras, shake your chakras. Just shake it all out. Remember when we were little, we shake it all about, shake it all about. Woo, woo. Yes. Remember that. Feel into that energy and don't forget your inner child. Order some bubbles on Amazon and blow those babies. Love you guys. Peace.